Excavating, Pelkey Builders 24 for Keith Pelkey. Outside Pelkey, it's the 86 from Saranac. That's Mike Shagnon. And shotgun on the field, another driver moving up to the Sportsman. The Island Excavating 21 from Swanton, it's Dave Rabtoy. Off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Green flag is out as the 2011 racing season at the Airborne Speedway is underway as they race off turn number 2. Even down the backstretch, Robin Wood sticking the nose out front. Sean Duquette at his door as they race side by side into turn number 4. Here comes Robin Wood pulling through on the inside. He will lead the first lap of the season. Sean Duquette runs in the second spot. Cody Benoit running third. Benoit in one of the last practice sessions for the Sportsman cars spun that vehicle coming off of turn number 4, was fighting a loose condition. We'll see how that car handles for him as the night progresses. Running in the 4th spot is Jamie Atkins. Right behind him is his son, Brandon Atkins. Then it's Keith Pelkey in the number 24. Jamie Begor in car number 19. Must have missed Jamie Begor in the lineup. And it's the 86 of Mike Shagnon, the 59 for Stephen Brissett, and Dave Rabtoy in the number 21. Out front, Robin Wood's lead is 3 car lengths. There's a little bobble going into turn number 4. Sean Duquette will close a car length, and now Robin Wood pulls away down the front stretch. It's Robin Wood, Sean Duquette, Cody Benoit. The drivers in the Sportsman division were also mentioning that the track is a challenge tonight. There has been water issues with the Speedway as everywhere around here, and we've had a couple of spots on the track where we've been fighting water coming through the racetrack, which has made things a little bit slick for the race teams, and the drivers have been trying to get a handle on their cars, and right now it's pretty clear the defending track champion has things figured out as he continues to pull away from Sean Duquette. Best racing action right now is for 5th. Here comes Jamie Begor in the 19. He'll move through on the inside. Keith Pelkey in car number 24 running in the 6th spot. Then it's Brandon Atkins in car number 4 dropping back to 7th. Robin Wood by 5 car lengths now over Sean Duquette in the 18. Then it's 3 car lengths back to Cody Benoit in car number 1. Then a good gap back to the 68 of Jamie Atkins. Atkins has Jamie Begor trying to chase him down. Begor with the number 19 machine running about 3 car lengths behind the 68. And then 5 or 6 car lengths back to Keith Pelkey in car number 24. So they freight train around the racetrack. Not a lot of side-by-side racing going on right now in this first qualifier for the Sportsman division. Mentioned some new drivers that have moved up to the Sportsman class for 2011. Cody Benoit running third right now in the 1 car. Also Brandon Atkins in car number 4. You see him in the qualifier behind Keith Pelkey. And towards the back of the pack, you have 2 teams that are running side by side. Dave Rabtoy's number 21 and Stephen Brissett's number 59. Those 2 teams are also new to the Sportsman division. Dave coming up from the Renegades, and Stephen Brissett was in a mini modified for about half the season last year. Cody Benoit challenging the 18 of Sean Duquette for the 2nd spot. Jamie Begor trying to take 4th away from the number 68 of Jamie Atkins as the white flag is on the field. They run side by side for 2nd. No doubt who's going to win this one. It's going to be Robin Wood in the 61, but a good battle for 2nd, a good battle for 4th. Robin Wood with an easy drive off of turn number 4. He'll get the first checkered flag of the year. Let's see who's going to win the drag race for 2nd. Off turn number 4, down to the stripe, and it is going to be, it looked like Sean Duquette by inches on the outside. Cody Benoit will end up in the 3rd spot. Then 4th will be Jamie Begor, who was able to move. The driver of the Adirondack Water Systems, Bruno's Repair, and Brookfield Excavating, number 33. From Plattsburgh, it is Travis Bruno. Next week from Morris Forks, it's Jimmy Bushy in car number 11. It's the Bushy's Auto Perkins Chiropractic sponsored car. So 10 cars ready to run in qualifier number 2. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag. Into turn number 1, Billy Twait's trying to take the lead on the outside, and he will have the lead down the backstretch. Brian McGinley sliding back to the 2nd spot. Here comes Nick Haywood after him on the outside. Nick Haywood with Bud 29 looking to move to the outside. Bucko Branham sliding up on the inside, trying to find a racing room inside the 44 of Tyler Terry. Nick Haywood to the outside, the inside Brian McGinley in the 35 as they run door to door for the 2nd spot. Good run off the top of the track for the 29 of Nick Haywood as he flies past on the outside. Branham right now snookered a little bit, gets into the back of the 35 of McGinley. McGinley goes around, and the 20 slides through on the inside, but that is going to bring out a yellow flag for Howard Stoner and Brian McGinley and Bucko Branham. 1 lap complete. Twaits and Haywood on the hammer as they come off the turn number 4. Green flag back out. Bill Twaits on the inside. Nick Haywood trying to hang with him on the outside. Twaits drifts up the track a little bit off turn number 2, and Nick Haywood right at his door. Puts the nose out in front as they race into turn number 3. Thwaites comes back after him on the inside. He'll take the lead back away off turn number 4, and he'll pull away a little bit, but Nick Haywood gets a good run off the top of 4. Still has him at his door on the outside. It's the 29 of Haywood. Thwaites on the 69 on the inside, but Billy is able to pull away off turn number 2 and moves to about a car length advantage over the 29 of Nick Haywood. Here comes Tyler Terry looking on the inside. Tyler Terry taking the Smithfield Discount Liquor and Wine 44 to the inside of the Budweiser 29 as they'll run side by side for the second spot. Dan Sullivan in the 3 running in third, not for long, make that fourth. Was fourth. Now it's the 05 of Brad Bushy taking that fourth position around the outside. Dan Sullivan goes back to the 5th spot. Out front, it is car number 69 for Bill Thwaites. Tyler Terry in the 44 has gone to second. Nick Haywood in the 29 dropping back to third. Brad Bushy running in the 4th spot. Then Dan Sullivan running in 5th. Here comes Bucko Branham sizing up the 33 of Travis Bruno. He'll move to the inside, and they run side by side into third. Branham flies through on the inside. He'll move into the 6th spot. Halfway in qualifier number 2 for the J&S Steel Sportsman Division. Billy Thwaites leading by 5 car lengths. Tyler Terry running second. He's pulled away from Nick Haywood. That 44 running strong. Make it a 6 or 7 car length advantage from the second to third place campaigner Haywood. Bushy is actually chasing Haywood down to the 29 and on the move, as you would expect. Car number 20 for Bucko Branham. After the last restart with 1 lap complete, was back in the 10th spot. Branham into the top 5 as he drives around Danny Sullivan's number 3. And now he's got Brad Bushy right in front of him. Branham goes back to the top of the racetrack. He'll work to the outside of the 05 car as he tries to move into the 4th position. Bucko Branham flies around on the outside. Branham moving to the front. He's up to 4th. Nick Haywood next in his sights. 2 laps to go, this time by for the 69. Of Billy Thwaites. The lead is down to about 3 car lengths, but Tyler Terry dirt tracks it into turn number 4, and that allowed Thwaites to pick up a car length or 2 advantage extra as they race to the stripe. 2 laps to go now for the 69 of Bill Thwaites. Tyler Terry running in that 2nd spot. Nick Haywood is 3rd. Let's see if Bucko's got enough time to chase down Nick Haywood and try to get to that show spot. Branham running in the 4th spot. 5th is Brad Bushy in the 05. White flag for Bill Thwaites. Second year for Billy Thwaites in the sportsman class. Bill finished last season in the 8th position in the point standings, and he is going to win qualifier number 2 this evening. Here comes Billy Thwaites to win it. Finishing second will be the 44 of Tyler Terry. 3rd is Nick Haywood of the 29. Bucko Branham in 4th, and Brad Bushy 5th. Danny Sullivan 6th. Travis Bruno and shotgun on the field. In car number 78 from Brandon, Vermont, it's Vince Quenneville. 10 machines running in the first qualifier, and there's the green flag. Greg Atkins in the 1 from the inside has the lead down the backstretch. The Brandon Bandit Don Scarborough looks outside as they race into turn number 3. Here comes Andy Haywood in the 80. Haywood had to get on the binders. Brian Trim fighting the handle on that car as he goes to the top of the track off turn number 4. He's all the way to the back of the pack. Out front, it's Atkins in the 1, then Scarborough in the 11. He trails Atkins by about 3 car lengths. Right off of his back bumper is the 80 of Andy Haywood. And it's Patrice McGrail in car number 10. It's the Broussard Mazda Budweiser sponsored machine for McGrail. Running in the 5th spot is Mike Wells in the 76. Cam Grady in car number 27 runs in the 6th position. 5th Wells, 6th is Grady, 7th is Mike Finney. Here comes Vince Quenneville. Quenneville was very fast the penultimate event in 2010. And Quenneville trying to work his way on the outside around Mike Finney in the 38, and he will. Vince Quenneville, who started dead last in this qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds, gets a spot on Mike Finney, and now we'll try to chase down the 76 of Mike Wells. Greg Atkins is pulling away out front. Atkins has a lead of about 10 car lengths over the 11 of Don Scarborough. Running in the 3rd position, it is the 80 of Andy Haywood. Then it is Patrice McGrail in car number 11 running in the 4th spot. Running in 5th, it's the 27 of Cam Grady. The 6th battle between the 78 of Vince Quenneville and the 76 of Mike Wells. Quenneville on the inside will go to the 6th spot, and Wells falls back to 7th. Running in 8th, Mike Finney. 9th is the 0 car for George Foley, and then it's Bryant Trim in the 28. Greg Atkins pulling away. It's now a half backstretch lead over the Brandon Bandit Don Scarborough with that 11 car. Then it's the 80 of Andy Haywood as we have a spin over in turn number 2. It's Bryant Trim with the number 28 machine. Let's see if Andy Haywood might have something for Don Scarborough in that 11. as they come off of turn number 4, back to the green flag. Atkins in the 1, Scarborough in the 11. The 80 of Haywood looking to the outside, trying to get some bite and look outside. Now looking inside into turn number 3, gets into the back of the 11. Scarborough was able to hang on to it. Haywood had to get on the binders. He drifted up the racetrack. Andy hangs on to the 3rd position with the Gayosa Wine and Spirits number 80. Running at 4th, it's Patrice McGrail. There goes Vince Quinville around the outside of Cam Grady. He's into the top 5, and he is closing quickly on the 10 of McGrail. 2 laps to go for the 1 of Greg Atkins. Atkins in the 1, Scarborough in the 11. Scarborough falling back now some 5 car lengths. It's a similar distance back to car number 80 and Andy Haywood. Then it's the 10 for Patrice McGrail, the 78 for Vince Quinville. Those cars running in the top 5. White flag out for Greg Atkins. Quinville looks to the outside of McGrail for the 4th position. And started dead last in this qualifier. He has picked up 5 spots and he wants 1 more. Here they come off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. It's Greg Atkins. Don Scarborough 2nd, Andy Haywood 3rd, Patrice McGrail hangs on. And shotgun on the field, the other half of the Racing Bakers from Saint-Césaire, Quebec, Maxime Vienne, and the Tremblay Water Systems number 25. That's the field. Here they come. Green flag. And they boxed it up right at the start. Jock takes the lead from the outside of row number 1. The 66 getting mixed up over it. Oh, look out! There goes the 46 of Michel Vienne up on his roof, sliding atop turn number 3, off the backstretch, rolling a couple of times off the top of 3, and we've got a red flag. 56 that set him loose coming off of turn number 4 on that last restart try. All right, here they come again. Let's see how this works out. Green flag. Well, certainly a much better start for Jason Bruno on the inside. The 53 drifts up the track. Vernal had to get on the binders. Jimmy Ryan drifts up the track in the 60. There goes Mike Rio on the inside. They're 3 wide down the backstretch going into turn number 3. Here comes the 97 of Vernal. There goes the 327 of Dan Brown. Yellow flag. Oh, by the way, did I say one of the Quebec drivers, Berthiaume and Michel Vienne? So let's see if the 3rd try is better. Green flag. Durgan from the outside. Bruno on the inside as they race off turn number 2. Again, they're 3 wide. Mike Riel's working down on the inside. Jason Durgan's working towards the front. Here comes Chris Vernal in the number 97. He's trying to move up and challenge Durgan, perhaps. Bruno leading lap number 1, this second qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. Vernal looks down on the inside of the 17. Off turn number 2, Chris Vernal's got a wheel underneath of that 17 car of Jason Durgan. Durgan will have to try to hold him off. Sliding back a little bit, the 53 for Tommy Jock. Chasing him down, Mike Reel, the Plattsburgh Radiator 02. And it's Terry Hayes running in the 6th spot with the 01. It's Max Vienne, the other racing maker, the son of Michel in the 25, as he looks to the inside, trying to take that 6th position away from Terry Hayes. They're running wheel to wheel for the 6th spot. Jimmy Ryan sliding back with a Flying Ryan number 60, and then it's the 327, the Hooters special for Dan Brown. Out front, the 66 of Jason Bruno. And he is a fairly healthy lead right now. It's about 8 car lengths over Jason Durgan in the 17. And then it's Chris Vernal in number 97, who is about a half dozen car lengths behind Durgan. And Mike Riel continues to move, though. Riel gets a spot away from Max Vienne and now looks to the inside of Tommy Jock, trying to get to the top 4. And Mike Riel's going to do it. Jock's going to lose not only the spot to Riel, but he'll also lose the spot to the 25 of Max Vienne. Just past the halfway point now in qualifier number 2. And it is the 66 of Bruno, the 17 of Durgan, who is sliding back into the grasp of Chris Vernal in the number 97. Vernal from Kingsbury, New York, looks inside. That 17 car, it looked like there was a puff of smoke on the 17. He might have a problem with the rear end, or no, he's got a tire down. The tire down on Jason Durgan's 17. You can see the tire just shredding as he goes down the backstretch, rolling slowly into turn number 3. And he tries to keep the car rolling, but it's going to bring out another yellow flag on this second qualifier. You can see the back of that car start to sit down, and that tire is just starting to rip apart. The right rear tire is a mess as he heads back into the garage area, just about gone off the...
Well, we have word from over in the garage area via another text message that Michel Vienne is okay, sore back.
Here they come off turn number 4. Green flag. Mike Riel to the inside of Chris Vernal in the number 97. Riel in the 02 trying to hold the momentum, but had to get on the binders to keep it down to the inside, and that allowed Vernal to work back past on the outside. As Jason Bruno continues to lead, he's pulling away with 2 to go. Bruno the leader, Vernal running in the second spot. Third is the 0-2 of Mike Rio, and that's Max Vienna in the 25. Dan Brown in the 327, closing in on the back bumper. He'll get on the brakes. Bruno really using up a lot of brake right now. The white flag is out. Might not be brake smoke. That could be problems with something else for the 66 car. Let's see if he can finish it out. Down the back stretch, final time for Jason Bruno, and no, it's going to be a yellow flag. Yellow flag is out for Tommy Jock in the 53, and another car over there, 25, Dan Brown, the 327. Those cars are in the top 5 as we're ready for another restart. Slow pace into turns 3 and 4. And Bruno in the 66 will get on it. Along the front stretch, there's the green flag. At 66 again, billowing smoke out the back, but he's pulling away from Vernal. 2 or 3 car lengths over the 97 of Chris Vernal. It's Jason Bruno with Bruno's repair number 66 coming off of turn number 4. There's the checkered flag, and he'll win it. Vernal second, Mike Riel third. 55 for Matt Woodruff, and Lebrecht will fall to the rear of the field with a 99. Green flag is out. There goes Leon Gagnon from the outside of row number 1. Gagnon will take the lead down the backstretch. Chris K.A. runs in the second spot. Running third is Patrick Dupree. Look at Martinois work on the outside with Gamache Truck Center number 90. Third spot is Dupree, right off of his back bumper in the 90 of Martinois, and Roy will go to the outside as Dupree goes down to the inside. There goes Martinois down the backstretch. Leon Gagnon leads. Chris K.A. runs second, but how much longer will he be in that second spot as the 90 is on the hunt? Martinois looking outside. K.A. back down to the inside, but right to the inside of the 90 is Patrick Dupree in the 24. Dupree pulls back to the inside of the 90 car. Now Roy slingshots to the outside of the 18. They go back and forth, duking it out. That third and fourth spot. Patrick Dupree trying to get back to the inside of the 90 of Martinois as they're running wheel-to-wheel around the racetrack. Roy in the third spot. Dupree running in fourth. Fifth it is Todd Ormsby. Good battle for third as they run right behind Chris K.A. with the number 18. Out front, it's Leon Gagnon. K.A. runs second. Third, it is Martinois with the 90. Then it's Patrick Dupree in the 24. Fifth is Todd Ormsby. Sixth is Todd Stone. Seventh is Gardner Stone. Eighth, Craig Riel. Ninth, Matt Woodruff. 10th is Andy Lindeman. Martinois picking that left front right up off the racing surface as he tries to make a pass of Chris K.A. and K.A. proving very difficult to get around. Chris K.A. holding his own in that second position. Martinois again will go back to the top of the track into turn number 4. Doesn't get good bite. Patrick Dupree trying to chase him back down and fight for that third spot. Leon Gagnon leads by 5. K.A. runs second, drifting up the track off turn number 2. Martinois had a good run on the top of the racetrack, but as K.A. drifted up the track, Roy had to get on the binders, and right here, Martin does not get the same type of a pickup off the top of turn 4, but now he's in position. K.A. will have to stay down to the inside, and Martinois will be able to make the pass on the outside of Chris K.A. He'll go to the second spot and begin the chase of Leon Gagnon. A fast pace in this third qualifier, just 2 laps to go. Leon Gagnon leads. Martinois now second. Chris K.A. hanging to third. Fourth is Patrick Dupree, and right off of his back bumper is the 1X of Todd Stone. Want to get into the top 4, that'll set you up for a spot, certainly starting inside the top 12, and perhaps close to the front. White flag is out with a 4 of Leon Gagnon on his way to victory. Martinois in the 90, solid in the second spot. Chris K.A., can he hang on to third? Dupree looks inside. Can Dupree hang on to fourth? Look at Todd Stone go to the outside, right up against the wall. Gagnon wins it. Second, Martinois. Third, Chris K.A., and Todd Stone takes fourth away. Coming off of turn number 4, Patrick Dupree will go back to the 5th spot. So Dupree's looking at starting about the 15th.
Modifieds ready to go. 6 laps, the scheduled distance. Desautel and Levere bring it off turn 4, down the stretch. Green flag is out. Good jump on the outside for Chris Levere. He'll lead him into turn 2 the first time. Chris Clark also on the move in the 77. He will bring the blue car into the number 2 spot. Barno looks to the inside of Mr. Cheez-It. He wants to take that third spot away, and here comes Richner to split him coming off turn 4. 3 wide action off turn 4 as they battle for that number 3 spot. Richner's going to grab it. Bobby Lavere's going to try and follow him through as he's sideways through turn 1. Up front, the top two cars have pulled away. C.J. LeVere in the 4, Chris Clark in the 77. And the battle starting to heat up for that third spot. Richner's 21 and Bobby LeVere in the 9. Jim Varno, 07, runs 5th. Mr. Cheez-It is 6th. Archer, 7th in the 23, now moves into that 6th spot. And John Bradley has the best view. Chris LeVere will lead them off turn 4 to the halfway sign from starter Digger Bruno. LeVere leads the way. He's got 5 car lengths on Chris Clark, 77. Then Richner and Bobby LeVere continue to battle for the number 3 spot. And it's a good 4-car battle for that 5th spot with Archer on the bottom of the racetrack holding on to 5th in the 23 with Varno on the outside in the 07. Mr. Cheez-It and John Bradley hold on to the back 2 spots. 2 to go for Chris LeVere as he heads them up the back stretch. He maintains that lead over the 77 of Chris Clark. Now Bobby LeVere looks to the outside of Scott Richner. They'll run side by side off turn 4 with 1 to go in a battle for the 3rd spot. Clark has closed the gap to about 3 car lengths on Chris LeVere as Bobby LeVere and Scott Richner continue to run side by side for the 3rd spot. Now LeVere opens it up once again as they come into turn 4 the final time. Checkered flag is out. Chris LeVere is your winner from Gabriel's, New York. 2nd spot goes to Chris Clark. Bobby LeVere will get 3rd. Scott Richner will finish 4th in the 21. 5th spot will go to Larry Archer of Josh Laporte. Malcolm Woodward in the 43, the 20 car for Jamie LaFountain. Green flag is out. Shotgun on the field. That's the 03 of Speedy Brissett. Up the backstretch the first time. LaVarnway gets a jump in the 13. He'll stick a nose in front. Josh Leclerc trying to come right back on the inside on the bottom of the racetrack in the 7. It will be LaVarnway to lead lap number 1. Leclerc holding on to that number 2 spot. The 11 of Whalen runs 3rd. Eric Sales has the 47 car into that number 4 spot as they head up the backstretch. Jamie LaFountain is on the move in the 20 car. He moves into 5th, dropping Josh Laporte back into the 6th spot. LaVarnway is your leader. Leclerc 2nd. Sales on the move in the 47. He now takes 3rd spot away from the 11. Mike Whalen. That 47 car is the former number 95. That's the track championship car from 2010 that was driven by Rick Donor. Can Josh LaVarnway continue to hold on and pick up the win and lead from start to finish? Josh Leclerc running 2nd in that number 7 car. There'll be 2 to go this time by. Sales is 3rd. Whalen is 4th. Laporte running in the 5th spot. Jamie LaFountain's 20, trying to find a way by him as Laporte and Whalen run together in front of him. Josh LaVarnway seems to be extending his lead as they come off turn 4. 1 lap to go for LaVarnway. Sales has closed the gap on Leclerc, and we're going to have a battle for the number 2 spot. Whalen runs on the outside of Laporte as they battle for 4th. Turn 4 the final time. LaVarnway is your leader, and LaVarnway is your winner. Morrisonville's Josh LaVarnway is your winner. 2nd spot goes to the 7 of Josh Leclerc. 3rd spot.
The H2O, always pretty. Robert Gordon with the H2O. Then it's Joe Warren of the 13. The 357, Curtis Seymour's moved up to the Renegades. And then the back row, the team cars, the 08 for Andrew Bordeaux and the 02 for James Collins. All right, that's the field. 10 strong in qualifier number 1 for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegades. And out front, Joe Daniels, who took basically a year off from the Renegade division, a guy who has won a bunch of races in this division in the past, hopping into a very fast race car. And Joe Daniels leading out front by about 5 car lengths over Kevin Boutin in car number 25. Kevin Boutin is trying to reel him in, the 2010 Airborne Speedway Renegade champion, back to defend his title, and one of the prime contenders trying to take it away And Little Joe, who's running right out in front of him in that number 7. Booten runs second, third to Big Daddy Don Franklin, and the H2O of Robert Gordon running in the 4th spot. And it's Joe Warren in the number 13. Here comes the H2O of Gordon on the inside of Don Franklin, and he will take 3rd on the inside. Well, not so fast. It's almost dead even at the stripe. Franklin got a good run on the top of the track off of turn number 4, and just about tied at the start-finish line, but off of turn number 2, Robert Gordon will make the pass of Don Franklin. He'll go to 3rd. Franklin sliding back to the 4th spot. Then it's 5 car lengths back to Joe Warren, the 13, as they're halfway in this qualifier. And you got a bunch of cars towards the back that are new to the division. Running in the 6th spot right now is Dave Drake in the 3. Dave was in the Renegades last year. Curtis Seymour in the 357 has moved up to the Renegades from the Mini Modifieds. The 17, James Sayward, he bought a Renegade about 2/3 of the way through the season last year, campaigned it a handful of times. And it's Andrew Bordeaux in the 08 and the 02 for James Collins. Both of those drivers have come up from the Mini Modified division.
The 08 would like to be referred to as Mr. Turd.
All right, so Andrew Bordeaux in the 08 and the 02 for James Collins. 6 laps complete, 2 laps to go for Joe Daniels. And the 25 of Kevin Booten has had a disadvantage of about 5 to 8 car lengths and really has not been able to cut it down at all. The H2O Robert Gordon actually has been cutting into the gap in front of him to the 2nd place car of Booten. They're going to go around the 02 of Jimmy Collins. Joe Daniels on his way to a victory. First time in that number 7 car, and he is going to win the qualifier. Nice job for the Saranac driver. Joe Daniels takes the Freihofer's number 7 across the line first. Then it's the 25 of Kevin Booten in the 2nd spot. 3rd to Robert Gordon. 4th to do Don Franklin in the 69. Then it is the 13 for Joe Warren. The 3 for Dave Drake. On the inside, the 36 for Bob Dragoon. Then it is the 00 for Matt Brusso. Matt's from Plattsburgh. In the final row, the 61 for Plattsburgh's Danny Dubuque. And shotgun on the field, the ageless Metal Man in car number 2, showing no rust at the back of the pack. An always pretty machine as well, that 2 car. Out front, it is the 22 of Rob Favreau, as he leads by 2 or 3 car lengths over the 86 of Rick Donor. Donor has changed the paint scheme on his car. Of course, in the Mini Modifieds, he always had the Lightning McQueen paint scheme, but he's gone to the rival of Lightning McQueen. I don't know if this is going to be good karma for Rick Donor in 2011, but he went to the evil Chick Hicks, number 86 from the Cars movie. Now this, again, sometimes you could be tempting karma on this one. It could be dangerous. It's green, and, Chick Hicks is the bad guy.
Rick, dastardly.
Could be. Josh Terry, well, that crew did a lot of work to get that car back together after a problem in practice, and look at him. He's running in the 2nd spot. As out front, it is Robbie Favreau with the O'Neill's Laundry, Leon Blair Contracting number 22. He's got a sizable advantage over Josh Terry in the Smithfield Liquor and Wine Wells Auto Repair Adirondack Locks number 43. Lance Rabtoy, talk about a driver to watch for a track championship in this division. Lance Rabtoy certainly in the mix. He's got the Culligan J&L Hardware McKee's Island Pub and Pizza number 11 in the 3rd spot. Then it is Rick Donor falling back to the 4th position. Mark Karen out of Peru in the 5th spot with car number 5. Then it is the Northline Utilities Thwaites Firewood Mad River Pizza number 57 for Bill Joyle. And Matt Brusso with the Roto-Rooter 00. Can you imagine what would happen if we had a collision between the Roto-Rooter 00 and the Mr. Turd 08? That might solve the Mr. Turd dilemma. Anyways, it is Robbie Favreau in the 22 up front. Josh Terry running in the 2nd spot. Lance Rabtoy 3rd in the 11. Mark Karen moving to the inside of Rick Donor's number 86, trying to take that 4th spot away. And he will off of turn number 2. As the white flag is out for Robbie Favreau. Mark Karen in the 4th spot. Rick Donor running in 5th. Closing in on Rick for that 5th spot is Billy Joyle in 57, although Joyle had a little mishap bobble over in turn number 2, and that cost him a bunch of spots, so he's out of contention for 5th. But the winner is a Robbie Favre, the 22. Josh Terry, second. Third to Lance Raptoy. Fourth, Mark Karen, the 5. Rick Doner's going to bring it home fifth. Sixth will be Billy Joyle. Seventh to Matt Brusso. Eighth to Danny Dubuque.
Starting behind the pole, it would be Josh Duravage in car number 88. Alongside Duravage, the 26 of Alan Simmons. We go back to row number 2 on the inside. The 14B is David Brissett as the green flag is out. It's a nice slow start. Everybody scrambles to get around that 14B car. The 21 is Travis Sherman from Plattsburgh. Bill Joyle Sr. in the 58. Rob Side in the 3. Curtis LeGrave Jr. in the 72. John Michael Brissett in the 14. Chad Hendry in the 60. David Hart in the 45. And look out, we've got trouble in turn number 4. Notice I did not say, oh, look out. So we're ready for a restart. Busch Bombers, 1 lap complete. We're back to the green flag. Josh Duravage in the 88, Alan Simmons in the 26. They run 1-2. Good battle for the number 3 spot up on the outside. Here comes the 21 of Travis Sherman. He's going to challenge Rob Sine. Sine comes right back on the inside. Sherman drifts up high, gets a little bit sideways. Side will hold on. Josh Duravage is driving away from this field. The battle is for that number 2 spot between Simmons and Sine. John Michael Brissett in the 14 runs 4th with Travis Sherman 5th in the 21. Sine is taking the 2nd spot away, and here comes John Michael Brissett in the 14. He looks to challenge that 26 car. But up front, it's still all Josh Duravage. Rob Sine 2nd, John Michael Brissett now 3rd. Alan Simmons is 4th with Travis Sherman 5th. 6th spot, Bill Joyle Sr. Chad Hendry next in the 60. And it's a good gap back to David Hart's 45 and David Brissett in the 14B. They got their own match race going at the back of the pack. Sine has closed it to about 5 car lengths on Josh Duravage, but the white flag is out, and Duravage appears to be on cruise control. Look out, there goes the right front on the 88. He is into the bunker, and Rob Sine has inherited the lead. The 14B of Brissett has spun in turn 3. It'll be checkers and yellow. And Rob Sine will pick up a surprise win as the right front wheel comes off the 88 of Josh Duravage.
On the inside, 7th starting spot from Bloomingdale, New York. That's Matt Woodruff. Outside from Morrisonville, it's Bryant Trim. And shotgun from Post and Kill, it is Andy Lindeman in the number 3. So 9 cars to run in this consolation race. Green flag. Mike Wells shoots out to the point, drifts way up high in turn number 2. Tommy Jock had a line down to the inside, but his car also pushed up the racetrack, and now Jock pushing up over in turn number 3 is Gardner Stone looking to run a little bit. That Stone X1 for Gardner. Todd hopped into that in the final practice session last Saturday, and with Todd behind the wheel, that X1 machine turned the fastest lap of practice last Saturday. Well, that is a fast car with Gardner Stone at the wheel running in the 3rd spot. Here comes Tommy Jock to the point. The Mohawk driver moves through the inside of Mike Wells, and he will take the lead. Well, at 53, Tommy Jock, first time asphalt competition in the modified, and he is leading the way in this consolation. Mike Wells, though, looking to come back after him on the inside. Jock says, I don't think so. Closing the door off turn number 4. Gardner Stone is in the mix. He's running the inside in the X1. That's Craig Rail in the CO2 running in the 4th spot. Mike Finney in the 38 running in 5th. Then at 6th, Matt Woodruff, the double nickel. Jason Durgan sliding back in the 17 as he is running now in the 7th position. We have seen that number 17 for Durgan run very fast here at the Airborne Speedway, but they are not at the typical pace that we have seen in certainly the 2010 season at times for Durgan and his team. Mike Finney in the 38 trying to get a spot away from Jason Durgan as well as he'll slide way up the racetrack. Bryant Trim in the 28. He is slow again and heading back to the garage. And those, the 28 and the 17, 2 teams that really tried some different setups and tinkered around within the rules of the dirt car rule book, trying to find a faster setup, but they have struggled as Gardner Stone is able to take the lead away from the 53 of Tommy Jock. Gardner Stone in the X1 from Middlebury showing the way. Tommy Jock Jr. running in the second position, and it's Mike Wells in the 76. Craig Riel in the CO2. Matt Woodruff in fifth now with a double nickel. And it's a 17 for Jason Durgan. Willsboro's Mike Finney running behind him, and then Andy Lindemann in the number 3. 2 laps to go for Gardner Stone, who is pulling away. Battle for third as Craig Riel tries to grab the spot from Mike Wells. They run wheel to wheel to the third turn. Tommy Jock right in front of them, had to get on the binders, hanging on to his car. Craig Riel goes to the third spot, making a pass on the inside. Final time around the consolation race, and it's going to be Gardner Stone's. The G-Stone Motors X1 is going to bring it home to the checkered flag. Here comes Gardner off turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. He'll get the win. The Bamboo 53 for Tommy Jock is second. Then it's the Plattsburgh Radiator CO2 third for Craig Riel. It's the 4 for Brandon Atkins, the 33 for Travis Bruno, the 86 of Mike Shagnon, 57 for Howard Stoner, Dave Raptoy, the 21, Brian McGinley, the 35, the 59 for Stephen Brissett. Shotgun on the field for Jimmy Bushy. Green flag is out. 25 laps the distance for the JNS Steel Sportsman cars as they run side by side, even 3 wide and towards the front of the pack. Nick Haywood looks to the inside of Bucko Branham as they race for about the 6th spot. Here comes Brad Bushy in the 05 looking to move through on the inside as he's trying to get to third, the inside of Jamie Atkins. He's got Jamie Begor at his door with a 19. They mix it up in turns 1 and 2. There goes Atkins. Begor has to take evasive action, and we got a yellow flag. With a 1 and Bucko Branham 5th with a 20. Sean Duquette at his door, 6th with car number 18. Those are the top 3 rows with 1 complete, 24 on the agenda. Here we come. Green flag. From the outside, Keith Pelkey, the 24. Dan Sullivan fights back with a 3. There's an opening on the inside for Begor if he can get there. Not quite. Sullivan gets on it. They're 3 wide into turn 3. Benoit trying to thread the needle on the inside. Pelkey works on the outside. Here comes Begor through on the inside again. Sullivan takes it right up to the wall. Jamie Begor goes to the 2nd spot. They're running 3 wide for 4th. Branham in the 20, the 18 of Duquette, the 24 of Pelkey sliding back again. He's 3 wide on the outside. Haywood, the 29. We got a challenge for the lead. There goes Begor on the inside. He's got the lead into turn number 4. Jamie Begor, the leader. 3 wide racing for the 6th spot. On the inside, Nick Haywood. In the middle, it's Robin Wood. Keith Pelkey sliding backwards in the 24 as he's been stuck on the outside. He's now run 3 wide 2 or 3 times in the first 3 laps. Jamie Begor's lead is 3 car lengths. Dan Sullivan runs in the 2nd spot. Bucko Branham into the 3rd position. Cody Benoit stuck on the outside with a 1, trying to find room perhaps to follow Branham to the inside, but he's got Sean Duquette at his door down to the inside, and right behind Duquette is the 61. The Cream rising to the top early in this one. Begor leading. His lead 7 car lengths. Sullivan running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is Branham in the 20. Cody Benoit is able to get the car down to the inside, running in 4th. Battle is on for 5th between defending track champion Robin Wood and Sean Duquette. Wood in the 61, Duquette in the 18, running side by side for this 5th spot. Give it to Wood on the inside as Benoit dirt tracks off the backstretch. Got the right side tires off the racing surface, kicked up some dirt, but he's able to hang on to his 4th spot, although sliding back into the grasp of Robin Wood, who is now running in 5th. Talk about sliding back into the grasp of a driver. Danny Sullivan falling back to the 20 of Bucko Branham. Jamie Begor is checking out. Branham looks to the inside of Sullivan into turn 3, gets him loose. Here comes Benoit to the inside. There's contact with Branham, who's hanging onto it. Here comes Branham to the inside as they're mixing it up. First event of the season for the Sportsman cars. Robin Wood in the 61, the 1 of Cody Benoit. Little contact into turn number 2 as well. They bumped in the 2nd turn. Here comes Wood through on the inside. Benoit working on the outside. Robin Wood trying to get to that 4th spot as Dan Sullivan drifts up the track. That opens the door for Bucko Branham on the inside. Side by side, bumping and banging for spots 2 through 5. Out front, it's Jamie Begor, who's checked out to a half backstretch lead. Begor certainly does not want to see a yellow flag in this one, because if he can keep this thing running green for the rest of it, he should be in a great position. Branham's got some laps to work with, but he's going to have to boogie and hustle if he's going to chase him down. Lap number 10 is going to go up on the scoreboard this time by Robin Wood moving to the 3rd spot to the inside of Dan Sullivan. Cody Benoit trying to follow through on the inside. Sullivan Works the outside of it with that number 3 car, and it's Benoit going to the 4th position with a 1. Out front, Jamie Begor in the 19. It's the 20 of Bucko Branham running in the 2nd spot. Branham, the 2008 and 2009 Sportsman track champion. Then 2010 track champ Robin Wood running in the 3rd position. Cody Benoit won more races in the Renegade division last season than anybody else, moving up to the Sportsman class, and he runs 4th. 5th is Sean Duquette. Duquette was the 3rd place point man last year in this division. Then it's Billy Twaits in the 69 who picked up the qualifying win earlier in the racing card. He's running in the 6th spot. 7th is Nick Haywood in car number 29. Sullivan has fallen back to 8th, and working on his door on the outside is Tyler Terry in the 44. Terry had him at the stripe. That would push Sullivan back to the 10th spot. As Tyler Terry goes around the outside, he will take 9th. 11th is Travis Bruno. 12th is Keith Pelkey. 13th is Howard Stoner. 14th, Brian McGinley. 15th is Brandon Atkins. 16th is his dad, Jamie Atkins. 17th is Mike Shagnon. 18th is Dave Rabtoy. 19th is Jimmy Bushy. And 20th would be Stephen Brissett. Brad Bushy also back out with the 05. Robin Wood in the 61 has moved into the 2nd spot. So now it is Robin Wood who will try to chase down Jamie Begor with car number 19. As I was working through the field, setting the different spots, the 61, a defending track champ Robin Wood was able to move around Bucko Branham. And that time it was Wood who was getting the right side tires off on the back stretch. Jamie Begor's lead, half the front stretch, as we are 15 laps into this 25-lap feature event for the J&S Steel Sportsman cars. So it is Begor, then Wood, then Branham, and then Benoit in car number 1. Less than 10 laps to go for Jamie Begor. And again, if this one stays clean and green, Jamie Begor is well on his way to picking up the win in week number 1. Race on for 3rd between the 1 of Cody Benoit and the number 20 of Bucko Branham. Benoit on the inside, taking that 3rd spot away, as the 20 car for Branham appears to be going away. The handling on that car not quite up to the way Bucko would like to have it right now. He is sliding backwards right now in the 4th spot. Sean Duquette is 2 car lengths off of his back bumper, running in 5th. Some good racing towards the back of the pack. There's a group of cars, including Brian McGinley in the 35, the Atkins, Brandon, and Jamie Atkins, the 21 of Dave Rabtoy, Mike Shagnon in the 86. Those cars are running in the teens. As approaching those cars in the back of the pack is race leader Jamie Begor. And chewing into the lead of Begor, there goes Stephen Brissett around. Stephen Brissett spins the 59, kicks up a whole bunch of dirt along the front stretch. And it's the last thing that Jamie Begor's remain. A dash for the win tonight in the Sportsman division. Robin Wood on the hammer on the outside. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag. A good restart from the outside for Robin Wood as he tries to pinch Begor down running into turn number 2. Wood gets a good run to the top of the track. Jamie tries to hang right with him on the inside, even into turn number 3. Begor on the inside, Wood on the outside. Here they come off the 4th turn. 5 laps to go, and at the line, Robin Wood has the lead. Wood had the lead at the stripe. Begor trying to hang with him on the inside. Robin Wood pulls away off turn number 2. Defending track champion Robin Wood, taking advantage of a late race yellow flag, makes a pass off the restart and the subsequent lap, takes the lead and pulls away. Look out, we got contact on the front stretch, and there it is, by the way. Mark that down, Rick. Heavy contact along the front stretch. Travis Bruno's 33, Mike Shagnon in the 86. Bucko Branham in the 20. All right. Ready to go. Here comes the field off for green flag. They race into turns 1 and 2. Robin Wood on the inside. Jamie Begor gets a good run on the top of the track. Begor puts his nose back in front. Begor has the lead into 3. Here comes Wood back after him on the inside. Even into turn number 4. Robin Wood on the inside. Back to the lead. Boy, that car hooked on the inside in 3 and 4. Jamie Begor and Robin Wood. There's a little contact along the front stretch. Begor trying to get that run back after him on the outside off 2. But Robin Wood still hanging on to the lead into 3 and 4. If that car works the way it did last time, he'll be able to pull away, and he will. It's a half car length at the stripe. Begor running in the 2nd spot. Cody Benoit is 3rd. 4th, the 69 for Bill Twaits. Then Sean Duquette running in the 5th position. White flag about to be unfurled. 1 lap remains for Robin Wood. Robin Wood's lead is 2 car lengths over Jamie Bigor, the 2010 track champion, kicking off his bid for a repeat performance with win number 1 of 2011. Robin Wood with the Ganieka Bingo Rent-A-Wreck 61 wins it. Second goes to Jamie Bigor. Third to Cody Benoit. Fourth, Billy Twaits. Fifth to Sean Duquette. Sixth goes to the 29 of Nick.
Picking up a opening night victory. Robin Wood will start his parade lap as Rob heads down trackside. He'll get a word with our defending champ. Ask him how his race went. So even though he pulled number 12, it didn't matter. Wood able to come from the 12th starting spot all the way up to the front to get the win.
Who gets a handshake from Cody Benoit. Butch Henry with a handshake as well. Robin wins on opening week. The Ganieka Bingo Rent-A-Wreck number 61. He's about to climb out of his car. Give him a nice round of applause, everybody. 2010 track champion Robin Wood kicks off 2011 in style as he wins opening week. Come on around, Robin. Well, the good news is that some of the mess was happening behind you, and you were able to keep the car, as is typically the case for you, nice and clean through the event, and then a good battle down the stretch with Jamie over a couple of restarts.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have caught him if it wasn't for that caution or for the first caution or whatever. But we changed 2 front springs right before the feature, which is pretty unheard of for this kind of division. But I got to thank my crew for doing that. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Weren't happy with it during practice?
No, I'm still not happy with that. But, we still have some improvement to do. We'll work on it again this week to get it better.
That's scary for everybody else when you're not happy with the car and you still end up winning.
Yeah, it seems like the track's a lot different so far this year, so everybody's kind of chasing it now. So hopefully we'll get it pretty soon.
All right, congratulations on kicking the year off with a victory.
Thank you.
That's Robin Wood, everybody. He wins open. They're on the hammer coming off of turn number 4. Here they come along the front stretch. Green flag. Gagnon shows the way, off 2. They box it up. Big tire goes McGrail. Couple of cars pile in over at turn number 2. 1 car, 2 cars, make that 5 cars. All right, here they come. Off turn number 4 along the front stretch. Green flag. Jason Bruno works to the outside. Greg Atkins in the 1 on the inside. This time everybody clean. Leon Gagnon seemed to slow as he headed into the 3rd turn. That opened up. Oh, look out. Gagnon is sideways, trying to hang on to it, going up the racetrack, cars towards the wall. It really bottlenecks into turn number 4, and we've got a yellow flag. We're working on the Goyosa Wine and Spirits 80 machine. All right, here we go. Off turn number 4. Green flag. Jason Bruno down to the inside, but now drifts up the track over in turn number 2. They're running 3 wide behind them as they race for the 8th spot. Vince Quinville, the 78, and Todd Ormsby in the 26. Work around Mike Riel's number 02. Out front, it is Leon Gagnon. Jason Bruno runs in the 2nd spot. 3rd is Greg Atkins. Martin Roy running in the 4th position with the Gamache Truck Center number 90. Then it's the 11 for Don Scarborough sliding back all the way up to 6th already is the pistol Patrick Dupree. Dupree has moved into the 6th spot with a 24 car. 3rd now, Martin Roy. Running 4th is Atkins. 5th is Scarborough. 6th, Dupree. 7th is Vernold. 8th is McGrail. Running in the 9th spot, it is Vince Quinville who is hustling towards the front, and then Todd Ormsby rounding out the top 10. A lot of wheel-to-wheel racing mid-pack. We have a car that has spun over in turn number 4. That's Bryant Trim. Trim got a piece of one of the inside tires after spinning his machine, and the yellow call goes 6 cars on his way back towards the top 10. Oh, they mix it up before the green flag comes out. A car did not fire, and we have a traffic jam along the front stretch. Leon Gagnon has broken on the right front. It appears as though
the 66 and the 4 hooked wheels coming into turn 3 for the...
All right, we're ready to run. 3 laps complete, single file. Let's see if Martin Roy can get off to that good start off of turn number 4. He does. He pulls away from Greg Atkins. Let's see if Greg Atkins can hang with him with a 1. A lot of laps remain. There's plenty of time as teams try to work to the front. This is a type of race where you've got to think about tire management. You've got to try to preserve your car. Typically, these machines run 30 laps here at Airborne on a Saturday night. You're adding 20 additional laps. And in those 20 laps, a lot of different things can happen to these race cars, and you've got to take care of your car. And Martin Roy sometimes is a driver that really gets after it and will sometimes use up that right rear tire. Well, 50 laps tonight, you've got to manage your tires. And the guy that is best at doing that may well pull the checkered flag at the end of the night.
Rob Leon Gagnon is pulled back onto the racetrack with the 4 car.
Leon Gagnon returns. Leon lost a couple of laps while he was in the pits. Martin Roy with a half backstretch lead over Greg Atkins, setting a very fast pace out front. Atkins is running second. Don Scarborough is third. And fourth is Patrick Dupree. Dupree running a smooth line around the racetrack. Again, you can see Martin Roy really working that car, lifting that left front tire right up off the racing surface. A good smooth line for Martin, that time through 3 and 4, as he continues to increase the lead on Atkins. Atkins trying to hang in second spot. Don Scarborough running third. Fourth is Patrick Dupree. Chris Vernold is in the 5th spot. 6th is Pat McGrail in the 10. 7th is Vince Quinneville. Running 8th is Todd Ormsby. 9th is Mike Riel. And 10th is Jason Durgan with the 17. Outside the top 10, 11th, Todd Stone, already up to the 11th spot. 12th is Jimmy Ryan. 13th is Matt Woodruff. 14th is Gardner Stone. 15th is Andy Lindemann. 16th is Tommy Jock. 17th would be Mike Finney. 18th would be the 0 car for George Foley. 19th is Craig Riel. And running in the 20th spot is Jason Bruno. He is the final car on the lead lap. Leon Gagnon is going to take the 4 back into the pits. They worked on the right front of that machine. Still not up to Leon's liking. He's going back in. Returning to the racetrack now is Max Vienne with the number 25. Martin Roy approaching the back of the pack. He's already put a lap on Bryant Trim's number 28. And he'll be running up on some faster cars, and he'll have to work to get around some of those race cars, and that'll give drivers like Atkins a chance to close up, as well as Scarborough and Patrick Dupree. Right now the lead is the full front stretch for Martin Roy over the one of Greg Atkins. Some of the better racing that's going on is going on along the front stretch now at turns 1 and 2. Bryant Trim is taking his 28 back to the garage area, as that 28 team is trying to find the right setup for that car, and they don't have it to this point. And they'll work on it from week to week and try to get that car more to the liking of Bryant. Now the leader, Martin Roy, coming upon the back of the pack again. This time it's Jason Bruno's number 66. The 25 of Max Vienne has down several laps after he had to go back to the pit area after an earlier mishap. Jason Bruno is working hard to stay on the lead lap with that 66 car. Martin Roy is now at his side with the 90. He'll go around the outside of the 66, and he will put Bruno down a lap. Next in line is George Foley in the 0, as he'll work the outside of the racetrack right where Martin Roy likes to run. He likes to work the rim around the Airborne Speedway, but when you do that, you use up the tires, and that again can be an issue. We've seen that happen to Martin at times, where he's worked really hard on the outside of the track. He's used up the right rear tire, and then later in the race he has faded back to the pack. It happened at the end of the season last year, that race that was won by Todd Stone. Vince Quinneville was the on-track winner, but he ended up getting disqualified. But you could see the 90 starting to go away with the tires as he was sliding back to other cars that were running up upon him. Lap number 19 up on the scoreboard. Martin Roy putting a lap on Craig Riel. He has lapped the 0 of George Foley, the 66 of Jason Bruno. Next in front is the 53 of Tommy Jock, the 38 of Mike Finney, and Andy Lindemann's 3, Gardner Stone's X1. And they've got a pretty good battle going on for position, so it's not going to be easy for Martin Roy to work through these 4 machines. And actually, it's tightening him up a little bit as Greg Atkins is closing in. Right now, Martin Roy is in a box. He's got Lindemann in front. Oh, he's able to work on the inside of Gardner Stone. And now look outside Andy Lindemann. So Gardner Stone down a lap, Tommy Jock down a lap, and Andy Lindemann is going to be the next guy to feel the heat of the 90, and he's going to go down a lap with lap 22 going up on the board. Approaching the halfway point of this one. Patrice McGrail along the front stretch with his car number 10. He smacked the wall coming off the fourth turn. Got a heavy piece of the concrete riding the front stretch wall. Todd Ormsby, who won a race last year, he's running 7th. And 8th is Todd Stone. He's up to the 8th spot. All right, here they come. Green flag. But I think ultimately, this race comes down to the tires on the 90. As we talked about, even going around the lap traffic, Martin likes to work up top, and there's no better place to use up your tires than on the top of the track. So we'll see if he can maintain the pace. And we'll also see if Patrick Dupree starts to push it a little bit and tries to get after Don Scarborough to work past him and maybe throw his hat in the ring. Martin Roy leading Greg Atkins. Dupree going outside of Scarborough, had to get on the binders as Scarborough drifted up off 2, and that halted the progress of the 24. It is Martin Roy halfway, leading by half the front stretch over Greg Atkins. Then it is Don Scarborough in the 11, the Brandon Bandit running in the 3rd spot. Patrick Dupree with the Saranac Country Store 24 running in 4th. 5th place, the 97 of Chris Vernold, but the 78 of Vince Quinville, also from Brandon, Vermont. He is looking to make a play on the 97 Kingsbury, New York driver, and Vince Quinville will take that spot away. So Vince Quinville moves into the top 5. Vernold goes back to 6th. 7th is Todd Stone, as he has moved past Todd Ormsby, and Todd Stone is sizing up the 97 of Vernold. Well, this race got off to a horrible start for Todd Stone, but we're just past halfway. If cautions were to break the right way for Todd Stone, he is not yet out of the mix. And Todd's a guy that knows tire management and knows how to work the fast way around the racetrack and at the same time preserve those tires. As he is trying to find a way to the inside of Chris Vernold, actually getting down to the inside of the race, off the racing surface with those left front tires as he was trying to move around Vernold, was working about a half groove up off the inside line. Good race right now between the 1 and the 97. As they battle for position, the 1 car of Todd Stone out of Middlebury, Vermont, trying to make that pass on Kingsbury, New York's Chris Vernold. There goes Jason Durgan's motor. Durgan popping something with a 17, if not motor, something else badly amiss. Smoke billowing out of the back of the 17 car, and that's going to bring out another yellow flag. We'll see if he's putting down Quenville 5th. 6th, Todd Stone in the 1. Don't count him out just yet. Green flag. Martin Roy tries to take off turn number 2, pulling away from Greg Atkins in the 1. Patrick Dupree, if he's got something for Greg Atkins and if he wants to mix it up with Martin Roy, perhaps it's go time now. Greg Atkins stays about a car length to 2 in front of that Saranac Country Store number 24. Dupree gets a good run over the top of turn number 2. Martin Roy pulling away from Greg Atkins. Dupree closing in on the back bumper of the 1 New York. Roy, Atkins, Dupree, Scarborough, Quenneville, then Todd Stone in the 1. Stone will have to get around Craig Riel, the lap car, as up front, battle for 2nd. Atkins in the 1. Dupree in the 24. Dupree looked high. Atkins went with him to the top. Car off the pace. Jason Bruno in the number 66, limping on the top of the racetrack, and that brings out a yellow. Yellow flag comes out. That comes out at an inopportune time for the 24 of Patrick Dupree. Week number 1. Martin Roy has led since lap 3. Here they come. Off turn 4. Green flag. Off the 2nd turn, Martin Roy again trying to pull away from Atkins. Atkins strong on these restarts, pulls away from Dupree, but then after a couple of laps, Pat is able to chase him down and battle for the spot. This time, Greg Atkins is hanging with him. Atkins is only a half car length off the back of Martinois, and now he's right there. He's on the back bumper. Atkins, though, got on the binders going into turn number 3. That broke his momentum. Leroy pulled away to a car length. Atkins works the inside. Martinois working on the outside through the middle of the turns in 1 and 2. Now down to the inside. Greg Atkins is hanging right with him. Martinois not pulling away now. Atkins, half a car length. Dupree sideways into turns 3 and 4. He had to get on the binders, but he's right back on the hammer. Patrick Dupree falling back a little bit in that third spot, but Atkins isn't going away. Let's again, it's a tire management race, longer distance. 14 laps still remain. Martinois' lead is a car length. Greg Atkins is hanging with him. He's not falling back. 5, 6, 7 car lengths. Atkins looks to the inside for the lead. Martinois holds him off. Atkins is still there on the inside. Down the backstretch, Martinois continues to work the higher line, pulling away to a car length. Patrick Dupree wants outside. Don Scarborough's closing in. This could be a 5 or 6 car battle up towards the front. Martinois leads. Patrick Dupree to the outside. Those tires are going away again. Here comes the 24 Dupree. See you later on the outside. There goes Dupree in the 24. Dupree goes for the lead. Third to first. Patrick Dupree takes the lead on the outside. He's running away. Patrick Dupree in the Saranac Country Store 24, pulling away from the one of Greg Atkins. Martinois' tires, not what he needs them to be right now, as he is fading fast. He's gobbled up to falling back to third, and he's going to fall back to fourth, maybe fifth, as Quenneville's closing in. So is Don Scarborough. Inside 10 laps remaining for Patrick Dupree. He's checking out. He's in the express lane, and he is checking out now as his lead is almost half the front stretch on Greg Atkins. Atkins is one of the stories of this race, who has run in the top 3 just about the entire event. Here comes Quenneville through on the inside. The 78 of Vince Quenneville going to third. Martinois falling back to fourth. Before this is all said and done, I would expect to see Martinois outside the top 5, likely looking at about a 6th place finish. That car is fading fast. Tire management, and he has used them up on the outside, working slower traffic earlier stages of the race. Patrick Dupree in the number 24 continues to lengthen the lead. Greg Atkins in the 1, running in the 2nd spot, but he can't even see him right now. Vince Quenneville in 3rd. Don Scarborough running 4th. Todd Stone is 5th. Martinois has fallen back to 6th. Chris Vernold is 7th. 8th is, I'm not sure if Andy Haywood is still on the lead lap or not. Then it's Mike Reel in the 02. Todd Ormsby in the 26. We talked early in this race, Rick. You've got to manage your tires. The 90 has used them up. And we've seen this happen before to Martin in these 50-lap races. 30-lap races, not a problem. Those tires hold up. But as soon as you start clicking much past lap number 30, the tires start to go away. And that, again, has happened to the Gamache Truck Center team. Patrick Dupree, front stretch lead. Greg Atkins in the 1, running in the 2nd spot. 3rd, Vince Quenneville, trying to get to 2nd. Jimmy Ryan in the infield, smoke billowing out of the 60 car. Ryan had a top 10 run going, but his night's over on the infield. There is Patrick Dupree in the Saranac Country Store, number 24. You see Ryan 60 in the infield smoking. Popsicle sticks are out. Patrick Dupree off the 4th turn along the front stretch. 2 laps to go for the track champion. The defending track champion, Patrick Dupree, with a backstretch lead. He's got a couple of cars in front, but they really should not play a factor. He doesn't have to do anything with them. White flag is unfurled. 1 to go for Patrick Dupree.
Take a look at the 1X. There's phones stuck underneath the car.
Final time around for Patrick Dupree as he works around the Matt Wooder of 55. Checkered flags are out. Patrick Dupree wins it. 2nd, it's Greg Atkins in the 1. Vince Quenneville 3rd in the 78. 4th, Don Scarborough. 5th to Todd Stone. 6th to Martinois. 7th, Chris Vernold. 8th, we're going to say Andy Haywood in the 80. 9th, Mike Reel. 10th will go to Mike Finney in the 38th. And Andy Lindemann in the mix as well in the top 12. Well, the defense.
All right, Rob Knowles is headed down to victory lane. He has found his way to victory lane. Patrick Dupree just about ready to hop out of the Saranac Country Store, number 24. Let's go downstairs. Rob, take it away.
All right, thanks, Rick. Patrick Dupree's out of his car, everybody. Give him a nice round of applause. Patrick getting congratulations down here in Victory Lane. He'll come around to this side, and we'll get a word with him. He's telling people that race was a lot of fun. It's a little hot. Come on over here so everybody can see you. That's good. The first 10 laps, the first 3 laps of that race, UGLY. Yeah. Tell us about some of the things that you were seeing the first 3 laps.
Yeah, there was just, I knew it was going to happen, first race of the season, and 30-some cars out there, so I just got to kind of watch for the cautions and duck them and try to, I made a lot of headway just on the first 3 laps under, with attrition, but car was getting better at the end. I was adjusting the pan hard a little bit to tighten it up. Everyone else was loosening up, so they were getting worse, and I was getting a little better.
And it looked like a lot of tire management issues as well for other teams, including Martin, who was really working hard on the outside, passing lap traffic. You seem to have a little steadier line through some of the early and middle stages of the race.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, actually, at how good it was on the outside. It was not as loose, so it worked out to our benefit. Could pass some cars on the outside and conserve the tires, but I think a lot of guys heated theirs up today.
Greg Atkins having an excellent race, running in that second spot. You saw a lot of his back through much of the race. Talk about the pass for the lead going from third to first.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. There wasn't much room in between the cars, but I saw the 90 was starting to loosen up, and I figured once the one was making a move, I would have a good shot time, and it worked out. Like I said, the car was working on the outside, so just drove around him.
Congratulations. It's a great way to start. Nice job, Stretch, to win the race.
Yeah, it's good to have a Syracuse quality. Oh, and happy Mother's Day to my mom. I told her I'd win the race for her, and I did, so happy Mother's Day, Mom.
All right, Patrick Dupree gets his first win of the year. Congratulations to Patrick.
Inside row 6, Jamie LaFountain outside in the 20. Row 7, Jimmy Varno in the 07, Timmy LaFountain in the 41. Mr. Cheez-It, Bill Desentel the 36, Speedy Brissett the 03. Malcolm Woodward, shotgun, we are underway. Trouble on the start, Sales 47. Got tagged by the 9 of Bobby LeVere. Sales continues on in the 47. LeVere takes his 9 back to the garage area. Up front, your leader of lap number 1 will be Josh Lavarnway in what Rob described as the ugly green car. Leading the way in the 13. Chris LeVere runs second. Josh Leclerc has that 3rd spot in the 7, followed by Chris Clark, 77. It's a good gap back to the 5th spot, where the 45 of Josh Laporte runs. Scott Richner's 21, running in the 6th spot. Jamie LaFountain runs 7th in the 20. John Bradley looks to the inside of the Archer 23. Those 2 cars get together just a bit coming into turn 3. A battle of 2-car tandems up front. 1st and 2nd, Lavarnway and LeVere. 3rd and 4th, Leclerc and Clark. Both these drivers won their qualifying events earlier on this evening. Both looking for a victory to kick off the 2011 season here at the Airborne Speedway. Josh Lavarnway drifted a little bit high in turn 2 that time. That allowed Chris LeVere to close the gap just a bit. It's down to just a couple of car lengths now as they combine complete lap number 6. 3rd spot, that's still Josh Leclerc, his number 7 with Chris Clark 4th. Josh Laporte maintains his 5th spot. He runs all alone in the 45B. Jamie LaFountain has taken 6th. As he drifts a little bit high, kicks it up in the bunker, he's going to lose a spot. That puts Richner back into the 6th spot with LaFountain back to 7th. Bradley is 8th. 9th spot goes to the 03 of Speedy Brissett. Larry Archer runs 10th. Mike Whalen in the 11th spot in car number 11. followed by the Eric Sales 47 in 12th. 13th spot goes to Tim LaFountain in the 41. Jim Bardo runs 14th in the 07, but he's going to be challenged by Mr. Cheez-It, Bill Desitel in the 36. And Malcolm Woodward has a great view in the 43. He can see them all. LeVere slowly closing that gap on Josh Lavarnway. It's down to a car length and a half. LeVere is right there, and he's got that preferred inside line. Chris LeVere looks to make his move as they come off turn 2 and head up the backstretch. There'll be 5 to go next time by. Some contact between Lavarnway and LeVere, but Josh maintains his lead. LeVere still right there in second. Josh Leclerc in the 7 car, hoping those two get together once again. Might make things very interesting for that third place car of number 7. Lavarnway again has LeVere right on his back bumper. Where LeVere has the advantage, he's able to keep his car toward the bottom of the racetrack just a little bit better than the 13 of Lavarnway. Right there in turns 1 and 2, Lavarnway drifts up high to the top of the racetrack. That's where LeVere gains ground. He's right alongside now as they head into turn 3. Lavarnway on the outside, LeVere on the inside, side by side off 4. 3 laps to go. They're quickly coming upon the slower car of Malcolm Woodward in the 43. We'll see how they work their way around that slower traffic. We've got a car sideways on the front stretch. That's the John Bradley 69. Yellow flag is out. Bradley backs out of harm's way. Look out. They got to scramble to get around him. Chris Clark and Josh Laporte run third and fourth in row 2. Here they come off turn 4. Back to the green. Josh Leclerc trying to stick with him on the outside, but it's going to be Chris LeVere in the 4 to lead him up the backstretch. Leclerc looks to move right alongside as they head into turn 3. It's LeVere on the inside. Leclerc now drops the 7 right onto the back bumper of the 4 car. 2 to go. Top 2 cars have pulled away as Chris Clark 77 runs 3rd. Scott Richner's 21 is now 4th. Laporte is back to 5th. White flag is out. Chris LeVere is your leader. Josh Leclerc in the 7 got a little bit squirrely coming off that second turn and allowed LeVere's lead to extend to about 5 car lengths as they head into turn 4 the final time. Checkered flag is in the air, and your winner is Chris LeVere in car number 4. Josh Leclerc finishes second. Third spot goes to the 77 of Chris Clark with Scott Richner 4th. Pick up a third place finish tonight. As well as Josh Leclerc. He brings the 7 home in the number 2 spot. It will be the backwards victory lap for LeVere. Well, no, it won't. Weasel says pull it inside now. Let's go. And let's go downstairs now. Rob Knowles standing by to talk with Chris LeVere. Rob?
All right, Rick. Chris LeVere's out of his car. Chris, a fine way to start the season for you as you get the victory. And I want to go back about 5 to go in the race. You were racing at the time Josh Lavarnway. And I thought you really did a wise thing. You got into him a little bit, but you backed off and allowed him to correct the car and then carried on the race from there.
Earlier, me and Josh had talked, and he didn't have a mirror, so I knew he didn't see me. And, you know, you just got to back out. There's no reason to just dump him. I could have stayed in it, but I was having more fun running side by side, banging doors down the front stretch. It was awesome.
And then under yellow, you got a good break. His tire goes down. You inherited the lead and made no mistake from there.
Yep, we did. We hit pretty good. Actually, I had a right rear going down myself. I was lucky to make it. I think it's probably flat now.
Well, congratulations. A great way to start.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Evergreen Auto Center and Saranac Lake, and everybody here. Have a good night.
All right, that's Chris LeVere, everybody. Nice job, Chris, as he wins for the first time in 2011.
25 laps to distance for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegades. Here they come off turn number 4. There's the green flag. A lot of fast cars up front. So this should be a fast pace. Perhaps the fastest based on qualifying started on the pole. And he has the lead, and already on that second spot is Kevin Booten in car number 25. They were 3 wide for a second going into turn 3. Big Daddy backed out of it. As Lance Raptoy in the 11 moved down to the inside, and he's trying to get a spot now away from Josh Terry in the 43. Again, Terry and his crew did a lot of work after problems in one of the first practice rounds. And Josh has had a good night, and certainly he'll owe a lot of credit to the crew that got him back out on the racetrack as he's running 5th on the outside. Out front, Little Joe, and he's pulling away already. His lead is 5 car lengths over Kevin Booten. Robert Gordon in the H2O running in the 3rd spot. And then at car number 22, it's Rob Favreau running 4th. Good battle for 5th. That continues between Lance Raptoy in the 11 and the 43 of Josh Terry. At the stripe, it's actually Terry the outside who has the 5th spot. Lance Raptoy running in the 6th position. And it's going to become a 3-car battle now for 4th. Rob Favreau, the 43 and the 11. Although Favreau got a good run off the second turn. Might have drifted up a little bit. And perhaps that forced the 43 to get on the binders, and now he may lose the position after losing momentum. He had his momentum broken along the backstretch, and that allowed Lance Raptoy to grab the 5th spot away. Coming right back after the 40. Oh, they're going to try 3 wide off 2. The 22 bobbled over in the second turn. The 11 says, I'm going left. The 43 went right, and the 22 went backwards. He'll lose a couple of spots. And Robert Gordon, hey, how about that beautiful H2O car going to the second? He's able to go around Kevin Booten in the number 25, and Gordon's going to begin the chase. Joe Daniels in the 7 car leads by 5. Robert Gordon in the H2O. Ahead of steam, though, he is moving as they put a lap already on Jimmy Collins in the number 02. Robert Gordon in the 2nd spot, pulling away from Kevin Booten, the defending track champ in the 25, running in 3rd. Battle between Josh Terry and Lance Raptoy. Those 2 guys have been side by side just about the whole race, but Josh Terry going to put that one to bed as he'll take 4th on the outside. Still can't get the car down, though, to the inside. Lance running pretty good on the inside, trying to take that spot back away from him. Not this time. Josh Terry is able to finish the pass. He goes to 4th. Lance Raptoy back to 5th. 6th is Rob Favreau. 7th is Don Franklin. 8th is Joe Warren in the 13. Running in the 9th spot is Dave Drake in car 3, and running in 10th is Rick Donor in car number 86. So it's Little Joe out front. We haven't had a yellow flag yet in this one, and lap number 8 goes up on the counter. 25 laps the distance for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Of course, that 7 car is no stranger to this racetrack. Lonnie Rivers, a multiple track champion with that number 7 car, turning the driving duties over this year to Joe Daniels. And Joe, as we talked about earlier tonight in qualifying, is a driver that has found his way to victory lane a number of times as well in the Renegade Division, as they'll put a lap on Andrew Bordeaux in the 08. Bordeaux is taking his Renegade back to the garage area. The lead is still at 5 car lengths, not really growing much, nor is it shrinking at all, as the top 2 cars running similar lap times around the racetrack. Daniels in the 7 and the H2O of Gordon. If anything, it looks like Kevin Booten seems to close a little bit off of 3 and 4 on the H2O, but then he loses what he makes up over in turns 1 and 2. That's where Gordon appears to be at his best. Of course, one of the Renegade cars that didn't make the call for the feature was Metal Man's number 2. Remember, he had a meeting with the front stretch wall right at the very end of his qualifier, and that knocked him out for this feature. We're approaching the halfway point of the race already. Joe Daniels putting a lap on the 36 of Bob Dragoon. Jimmy Collins about to go another lap down with the 02 car. And he catches him off of turn number 2. The lead is growing. It looks like it's about 7 car lengths now. Kevin Booten in the 25. 2.5, maybe 3 car lengths. Yeah, all 3 car lengths behind the H2O of Gordon. And that's a pretty good gap back to the 43 of Josh Terry. And then the 11 of Lance Raptoy in that 5th spot, and he's not really feeling the heat from anybody. He's losing ground to Josh Terry, but pulling away from Rob Favreau in that 5th position, Lance Raptoy in the car number 11. So Joe Daniels, the lead still pretty consistent. Lap number 15 about to go on the board. Oh, we got a yellow. The yellow is for Bill Joyle in car number 57 over on the inside. All right, 14 laps complete, 11 still to go. Let's see if Robert Gordon can stick with Joe Daniels. Green flag! Daniels in the Freihofer 7 working on the inside. The H2O Will drilling car for Robert Gordon on the outside. Kevin Booten wants to try to hang with him. He's right there. He's in the mix. So is Josh Terry. Terry has run well with the number 43. And it's car 7 of Joe Daniels. Leading by a car length off of turn number 4. That's where Daniels seems to run strong off the 4th turn. But Robert Gordon's coming back after him on the outside. And now Booten is in the mix. Although fading back off turn 2. That's where Booten has struggled in this race. He's been strong off 3 and 4, but struggles in 2. And now Robert Gordon's coming after him on the outside. We should have a pretty darn good finish with lap number 16 going up on the board. Joe Daniels led by about 2 feet. Robert Gordon is there, and that car is working well on the outside of the racetrack. Gordon puts the nose out in front on the outside. Going into turn number 3, Joe Daniels comes back after him on the inside. Seesaw battle for the lead on the inside. Here they come off turn number 4. Down to the stripe. This time it's the outside line for Robert Gordon in the H2O that had the lead. Gordon's lead was about a yard at the stripe. Off of turn number 2, again, he continues to work outside the 7 car. The 7 car comes back after him on the inside. There's a good battle going on right behind them for 3rd. As they go back and forth with the lead. This lap, it's Joe Daniels on the inside who had the lead. 3 straight laps where they've swapped the lead. The 7, the H2O. Good run for Gordon on the top of 2. Gordon vaulting down the backstretch into the 3rd turn. He's got the lead again, running into turns 3 and 4. Daniels trying to come back after him on the inside. Again, they'll drag race down to the stripe. This time it's Robert Gordon back. 4 straight laps where they have swapped the lead. Daniels working on the inside, Gordon again on the outside. Daniels had the lead into 2. Gordon takes the lead out of 2. Down the backstretch to 3. Daniels comes back to the lead on the inside. Gordon fights back on the outside. Who's going to lead this lap? Down to the stripe. And it's almost a dead heat. Too close to call to figure out who the leader was that lap. Great battle out front. Little Joe in the 7. Robert Gordon with the H2O. Right behind him, it's side-by-side for 3rd rather. Right behind them, it's side-by-side for 5th with Lance Raptoy and Rob Favreau, who's running well on the outside. That time at the stripe, it's the 7 of Joe Daniels who has the lead. So Daniels was leading that time at the start-finish line. Robert Gordon coming back after him, though, on the backstretch. He'll take the lead going to 3. Daniels comes back after him on the inside. Daniels got pretty good head of steam built up coming off the 4th turn. And Joe Daniels pulling away a little bit. Still at the door is Robert Gordon. Gordon will need a good run off the 2nd turn. Daniels drifts up the track a little bit. The H2O still there. But Joe Daniels appears to be picking up a little ground lap by lap, trying to put Robert Gordon away. Robert Gordon coming back on the outside. Down the front stretch, popsicle sticks are out. Back and forth they go with the lead. That time again, though, it was the 7. He's held the lead the last 3 laps. Robert Gordon gets a good run off, too. The 7 down on the inside. That battle for 3rd is just like the battle out front. They continue to run side by side. 1 lap to go. Down to the stripe. Gordon had the lead at the stripe. Final lap. Gordon had the lead on the outside. Robert Gordon works the outside. Daniels has the lead on the inside. Gordon comes back to the lead on the outside. It's going to be an Alcoa finish as they head into turn number 3. Daniels on the inside. Gordon on the outside. A drag race for the win. Here they come. Down to the stripe. Robert Gordon on the outside. Joe Daniels 2nd. 3rd to Kevin Booten. 4th goes to Josh Terry. And at the stripe for 5th, it looked like maybe Rob Favreau on the outside in the 22. What a race by the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade division. They never seem to disappoint, Rick. This division, a division that always has close finishes.
Joe on the 7 putting on one heck of a show, as well as the battle for the number 3 spot between the defending track champion Kevin Booten and young Josh Terry in the 43. Great runs for both of those 2 drivers as well. Gordon on his way with a victory lap. In just a moment, we'll be throwing it trackside. Rob Knowles headed down there now. You never know what you're going to get out of Robert Gordon when he heads to victory lane. He's always good for a zinger or 2.
Well, over the course of the last 11 laps, the lead changed 5 times between the H2O and the 7. Joe Daniels out of his car. Give him a nice round of applause. It's a fine run to second. A good run for defending track champ Kevin Boutin to third. Hey, Robert Gordon's out of the pretty H2O, and he gets the win. Come on over, Robert. And he goes over and shakes the hand of Joe Daniels, and he said that was a lot of fun. Back and forth. Zig and I were just talking the last 11 laps since the restart. You guys went back and forth with the lead 5 times. Just when it looked like Joe was going to pull away and maybe solidify a pass, your car hooked again.
Yeah, it worked pretty good on the outside. I was questioning whether or not to tuck in behind him, and I guess I'm glad I didn't.
Tell us about that final lap. Coming down to get the white flag, you had the lead by 2 feet. And then, again, you had to hit your marks. You really must have had to focus on hitting the right spots on the track for your car.
Yeah, there is a little bit of water in 4. You can't go quite where you want. So you had to run a little too high or a little too low. And I just gave everything I had on the last lap, and it paid out.
You know, the first race of the year, you guys just set the bar up here. That's a tough act to follow. That was a great race.
Well, I'm hoping we can do it again next week.
Well, congratulations, Robert. A great way to start with the pretty H2O.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Robert Gordon gets the win. Joe Daniels with a...
Sign gets a good jump on the inside. Brissett trying to come back to get along side by side as we hit the green flag. Brissett on the outside. Sign on the inside. Look out, Joyle is sideways. Hendry gets by. Simmons gets woed up just in time to sneak by on the inside. Joyle refire his car. We're going to stay green. Nope. Those are your front 3 rows. Gary Townsley thinks he can join the race in the safety truck. It's not going to happen. Here comes the field. Off turn 4, back to the green flag. Much better start on the inside this time for Rob Sine. He will have the lead as they head up the backstretch the first time. Brissett runs second. Sherman runs third. Problems on that 8-ball of Tyler Brissett. He is slow down the front stretch, and he's headed back to the garage area.
If that were a Magic 8-ball, you'd shake it and it would probably say, doesn't look promising.
Got a car spinning over in turn 3. That's the 45 car of David Hart. He's got it refired and appears to be out of harm's way. Will stay green. Side sneaks by on the inside. They sneak by to the inside and the outside. And everybody's made it through. A little bit sticky situation for Chad Hendry in the 60, but he did a nice job of getting by the 45 car. And up front, Rob Sine playing Catch Me If You Can. He's got a commanding lead over the 88 of Josh Duravage and the 21 of Travis Sherman. Duravage has moved into that number 2 spot, trying to close the gap on Rob Sine, who runs quite strong up front in that number 3. As we said, Duravage is second, Sherman is third, 4th spot to John Michael Brissett. 5th spot on the outside, LaGrave will take that in the 72, dropping Joyle back to 6th. LaGrave is on the move. He's going to look to the inside of Brissett. He wants to take that 4th spot away. Side quickly puts the 14B of David Brissett down a lap, as will Josh Duravage. Sherman gets by in the 21. Here comes LaGrave in the 72. Now Duravage tries to close the gap on the 3 car. It's down to about an 8-car length advantage. As there goes the 45 around one more time in turn 3. Yellow flag will come out this time as we get ready for a restart. Sign gets the jump coming off turn 4. Green flag is out. Josh Dervage sort of got caught sleeping on the restart coming off turn 4. That allowed Rob Sign to open up a 5 or 6 car length advantage before they hit the green flag. Sherman holds that 3rd spot in the 21 with Curtis LaGrave Jr. 4th. They're halfway. John Michael Brissett back to 5th. Chad Hendry runs 6th in the 60. Bill Joyle Sr. running in the 7th spot, followed by Alan Simmons in 8th. Brandon Nolan runs 9th. The 45 of David Hart is 10th. And the 14B of David Brissett rounds out the field in the 11th spot. Here comes Dervage taking a look at the inside of Rob Sign. Sign holds on to that advantage. Opens up a car length and a half as they head into turn 3. The 26 of Alan Simmons is off the pace. He is slowed down the front stretch and headed back to the garage. Now we've got another group of 2-car battles up front. The 88 and the 3 for the lead. The 21 and the 72 for the number 3 spot. LaGrave 72 looks to have the 3rd spot now as they head into turn 3. Look out, Rob Sign drifted way high in turn 4, and that gives the lead back to Josh Dervage. Josh Dervage is your new leader as Sign had trouble in turns 3 and 4. Car drifted well up to the top of the racetrack. That opening gave Dervage all he needed to zoom on by on the inside. They complete lap number 11. And Sign trying to come back on Dervage. Curtis LaGrave Jr. in the 72 has opened up 3 or 4 car lengths on the 21 car of Sherman. Brissett runs by himself in 5th, as does Hendry in the 6th spot in the 60 car. It's still Josh Dervage, a guy who has, over the past 2 seasons, probably been the points leader more often than anyone in this division, but has had trouble in the final lap of the final race of the season the last 2 years that cost him the track championship. A win tonight would certainly be good medicine for those last lap heartaches that cost him the past 2 seasons. Yellow flag is out. Those are your front 4 cars. We started with 12. We're down to 7. 8. Back to the green. Dervage starts to open up as they head up the back stretch. But here comes LaGrave looking to the inside of Rob Sign. It's now turned into a battle for the number 2 spot. White flag coming out for Josh Dervage. If he can keep it on all 4 wheels, he's going to win this one. Who's going to finish second? Rob Sign says, me. Curtis LaGrave said, not yet. He's going to come right back at him up the backstretch. Into turns 3 and 4, the final time. Checkered flag about to be unfurled by Chief Starter Vern Bruno. Your winner is Josh Dervage in the 88. Second spot goes to the 3 of Rob Sign. And coming home in 3rd will be the 72 of Curtis LaGrave Jr. So the first ever Busch long history of Airborne Speedway. We want to remind you that Broderick Road is a town road, so please stay to the right-hand side as you're exiting the Speedway, as we need to keep the inbound lane open for all emergency vehicles that may need to come onto Speedway property. We thank you.
All right, Rick, we'll get a word with Josh Dervage as soon as he hops out of his winning race car. Some of the damage that resulted from the right front flying off the car in the qualifier. Still fast nonetheless. Josh is out of his car as he gets the win in the Busch Bomber feature event. No stranger to victory lane. As you said, he's led a lot of laps in this division over the last couple of years. And Josh, first of all, tell us about the qualifier and what happened on the right front.
Well, I was coming into turn 2 and broke the wheel bearing right off, and the rotor went and my tire went flying.
And then you and the crew had a lot of work to do to get that thing ready again, and it paid off.
Yeah, we had to run home, get a whole bunch of parts, and come back and hope for the best.
So what's the trip to home? It was about a half an hour back home to find the things that you needed?
Yeah, about 35 minutes round trip, you know.
Well, it was a 35-minute round trip that was well worth it.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
It's a great way to start the year for you. The race car appeared to be fast, as it always has been for you in this division.
Yeah, it's always fast. You know, it's a good car.
Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you. I got to thank my dad. He does a lot of work in this and all my sponsors. Thanks a lot.
All right, Josh Durivage gets the win in the Busch Bombers. And Rick, week number 1 of 2011 is in the books.